while he was still clothed in the wisdom of God and the knowledge of God, and was doing what was right by keeping the commandments, all was well. But when he violated that, he also brought sicknesses and disease and suffering into his world. I said a moment ago that man would not have known the value that he possessed had he not given the ability to demonstrate it, which was the whole purpose of a test. Remember, a test is not always designed to show weakness. A test is sometimes designed to show strength, ability, capacity, and value. In Adam's case, his test was not to bring him to ruin or despondency. It was an opportunity for him to show God that he was valuable, not only to God, but valuable to himself. Valuable to God as the representative that he was on earth in God's stead. And valuable to himself because he was bestowed with great value. There was a valuation that God had put on his life. God had given him importance among the creatures and all creation. The Bible said the Lord had given him dominion over all the works of his hand. He had a significant place in history. He was able to work and receive rewards or remunerations. He was able to appreciate. He was able to understand because he had personal property, and he was to rejoice in that and revel in it. There was a valuation placed upon him that gave him appreciation, judgment. He was going to be adequately compensated, and he was being assessed of his capabilities. His valuator, which is God, gave him relevancy. But of course, the law that was given to him was necessary, could not be avoided. It was mandatory, prescribed by the divine law of God, that man should be tested. And when proved valuable, virtuous, he would be rewarded and he would receive the benefits. But as you can see, he abdicated from his responsibility and caused sicknesses and disease. But the Bible said something interesting. The Bible said he ate from the tree of life. Correction, he did not eat from the tree of life, which he could have. But he ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Therefore, in his reward, he received knowledge from the tree. And that knowledge that he received meant that he would experience moments of grandeur, moments of splendor, moments of pleasure. He would experience moments of delight. But also, he would also receive knowledge of evil, meaning that he would have duality, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, but he would also have knowledge of pain, hurt, sicknesses, disease, suffering, ailing, and failing. This came with it also. He traded what he had for this information. The Bible says in Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 29, that man traded. What did he trade? He traded his godliness for invention. In other words, for a makeover. The devil gave him a makeover. And so he was made over from the way the Lord made him, which was righteous. He was made over in the devil's likeness and became unlike God, but just like the devil, who now became his master. So he was no longer godly, but he became ungodly. He was no longer righteous, but he became unrighteous. He was no longer good, but he became bad. He was no longer just, he became unjust. He was no longer faithful, but he became unfaithful. And the list goes on. Just like the devil, his new master. And God took no credit for the new condition. In other words, the new makeover that he now was living in. And worse than that, his world, his environment was cursed. As a result of the curse, man lost total control over his environment. And his environment is now affecting him as a result. Sicknesses come about several ways. You have sicknesses which is contracted. You have sicknesses which is hereditary. In other words, it is passed down through the gene pool, through your genetics, biological and chemical chemistry. Then you have sicknesses which is obtained, received, gained, acquired. Some come by way of accident, meaning injuries, and some come simply by the body insufficiency, the body unable to cope with continuous workings. And the Bible has something to say about that. And whenever we talk about the Bible, we're talking about God. He says that man was given a duration of time to live. And if his body was able to fight off sicknesses and disease and ailments, then he would go beyond 70. But he was allocated 70 years. And the Bible said by reason of strength, that is to say, if he was able to fight off effectively bacteria, disease, ailments and suffering and injury, then he would go beyond that. But ultimately, he would come to a cessation of life where he becomes beyond the ability to be resuscitated. And that's what we call death, a separation from life. Now the life that you have, the Bible says it's in your nostrils. The breath of life is in your nostrils. And the Bible said God breathed into man's nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And he is living until that breath, for one reason or the other, sicknesses, disease, or just the failing of the body. Sometimes we use the word heart attack, cardiac arrest, or some other means. Sometimes we use the term die of old age or natural causes. That is to say, there is no specific reason that is given why this person has ceased from living. But one thing is sure, the breath has left their nostrils. And as a result of that, they are beyond the ability to be resuscitated and are pronounced and certified dead. This, my friend, is the reality of the world in which we live in. Whether you're young, whether you are middle-aged, or whether you are ageable, the fact is no one, not any of us, will live forever. It is a result of the violation of the law of God, which was meant to be rule and government of men's life. Whether you believe that which is God's account, which is told by holy men of God, believers of the faith, or whether you have a complete different opinion, the fact remains that once you have entered into this world, you will not live forever. So what are you going to do about it? Are you just going to sit there and live in despondency? Are you just going to put your thumb in your mouth and just bury your head in the sand? Or you're going to get information that will give you wisdom, that will enable you to live a vigorous, successful, prosperous, happy, and wholesome, and worthwhile life. Yes, you're not going to live forever. That's true, but then none of us will. But don't let that stop you. Whether it is 10 years, 60 years, 100 years, life is to be enjoyed. Enjoy life. Travel the earth. See the geographic locations of the earth. See the splendors of the earth. Eat the fat of the land. And enjoy life whilst it lasts. That's liberty. And you are given life to enjoy irrespective of the perplexities and the complexities and the horrors and the sorrows that are in the world. You can still enjoy life. But in order to do that, you need to be wise. You need information. It is vital to life. And this program, Liberty Hour, is designed to put you in the driving seat and give you information that will enable you to have longevity of life. So you may say to me, well, what about those things that are in the world that is not advantageous to life? Pain, suffering, sicknesses, disease, calamity, and so on and so on. The list is endless. What am I going to do about it? Let me tell you what you need to do about it. You need to get some knowledge. You can either get it from the college or you can get it from revelation. The two avenues are available to you. Knowledge that comes from education, that is to say study, school, university, and institutes of learning. Even the good internet, books, and programs, documentaries, and even this wonderful program, Liberty Hour, will give you information that will enable you to be able to live fruitful, productive, beneficial, and blessed. And there are men and women who are dedicated in helping you, being your aid, being your helper, being your assistant, giving you their sympathy, giving you the benefit of their expertise. That's where science and technology comes into it. We're living in a world of technological advancement, and the instrumentality of medicine has moved on from the bushes. It has come into the 21st century where the cutting edge of medicine and technology is at its greatest ever. And men and women now know how to help you in various ways, physically and mentally, so that you will have the advantage. And then you have God, and then you have men of God who are, on the other hand, able to tap into the supernatural and bring out of the invisible the benefits of the invisible to the visible, able to bring out the access from the supernatural into the natural, able to reverse ailments and suffering and sicknesses and disease and enforce the favor of God, which was brought into this world by the vehicle called grace. Yes, the Bible said the grace of God has come and has appeared unto all men. But unfortunately, not everyone grasps this information. And so some are still living in a disadvantageous situation because the doctors are there, the physicians are there, and health officials are there. There are cures, there are remedies that is in the world to help you physically and mentally, and of course spiritually. You can be helped. Now, if your doctor is good, he will keep you, first of all, out of his surgery. Secondly, he'll keep you off the surgeon's table. And thirdly, he will keep you in longevity of life and prolong your life from an early demise and grave. If the man of God is good, he will keep you. And when I say good, I mean if he is anointed, if he is appointed, when he is authorized and approved, and when he is called, he can do things for you that you are unable to do for yourself. He can reverse your situations and your circumstances, your surroundings and environment. He can cause demonic entities to be expelled from your life. He can cause your prosperity to come. He can cause you to live in your position and in your possession, because dominion and control is given unto them that fear the Lord. As many, the Bible said, as receive him, to them gave he power. This is the authority, this is dominion, this is the ability to control, to exercise ability and able to do exceedingly and abundantly things on your behalf. And if that is done, we use the word anointing. That is the authorization. When he's anointed and appointed, when he is chosen, elected and selected, he is preserved and kept in this world for your benefit, so that he can go before God and intercede on your behalf and cry against your situation and against your circumstances. He can cause demonic powers that their strongholds are broken off your life, that all curses are broken off your life. And remember, the word curse means, in the simplest form, the word curse means annoyance, something that annoys you, something that disadvantages you, something that takes away your ability to progress or to thwart, to hinder, to block, to prevent, to hinder, to let, and so on and so on. That's what a curse does. But the man of God is able to break those curses and put you in an advantageous situation where sicknesses and disease are no longer in control of your life, so that you are living a life that is not wholesome, is not beneficial. You have lost your mobility. You have lost your ability to grow well, wholesome, and otherwise. That is not the way God intended us to live. Hello, caller. Thank you for calling.
Hello?
Yes, hello. Good evening. Welcome to